So yeah, my dream about Greg Davies.
I mean, you need to make this completely now. I need to know about your dream because I had
But
a different
no,
cold
right.
open.
So basically, it was my friend was working on the set of Taskmaster, and Greg Davies was there because obviously, and I get a phone call from my friend being like, "Oh, by the way, Greg Davies is so rude because he just threw my phone on the floor." So I make it my mission to find Greg Davies and like give him a row for being rude to my friend. So I went to his house.
He lives in Glasgow.
Oh,
But
what
his
you
house,
thought
I
was
don't
his
know where he
house.
lives. I don't know where this was set in my dream, but it was like I went to his house, but it was like in the basement flats of like an apartment complex, and I'm not sure why.
I'm not surprised that Greg Davies lives like a goblin.
I walk in and his mum's there,
giant
but it's not
goblin.
his actual mum. It's his mum from the show Man Down.
How
So
do you
it's the-
know the difference?
Because I know what his mum looks like because his mum was on Would I Lie to You
Yeah.
Okay.
with him. I know all the Greg Davies lore. But yes, that was my dream about Greg Davies.
That you just went and shouted at his mum for a bit.
No, I shouted at him, but his mum was there.
Oh, his mum was just around.
Yeah, and she was very nice.
So he was living in his mother's
Can't
basement.
fault Greg Davies' mum in my dream.
Shout out to you, Dream Davies. Greg Dreamies?
Mama Davies.
No, him.
Yeah.
Him specifically.
Oh.
Because I am going to clip this moment from the podcast and tag him on Twitter.
Shout out.
My only cold open idea was we've got all those posters in the bathroom, and one of them is a Rolling Stone cover of Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Britney, baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is this? I need to ask the millennials in the room. Was that the catchphrase before she started doing It's Britney?
Okay,
No,
spoiler, it's actually a Smash Hits poster
Sorry.
of Britney.
Not Rolling Stone.
The
Rolling
Stone
Stone
the
one.
Rolling Stones poster in there is of Alanis Morissette,
Alanis
Sorry.
and that's
yeah.
the original
Yeah.
one from 1993 or 4.
Sorry.
The Smash Hits cover of Britney Spears in Our Toilet is actually a remake from 2002. So it was actually redone. No, it wasn't
Right.
2002. It was later than that because
2006, I think.
it was a throwback cover.
Okay.
So it was Smash Hits, and I think it was like 2010 then,
Oh.
because it throws back to 2002 when Britney Spears was on top, and it was Backstreet Boys Are Back, all that kind
Right,
of
so
stuff.
they went with It's Britney, baby as a homage to her
Our
catch
old-
line.
yeah,
Right,
because
okay.
it also
They hit me
mentions
baby
Katy
one more
Perry and
time.
stuff who wasn't around then. That's how you can tell.
This is true, yes.
Ah,
So that's technically not a retro poster. That was live.
damn.
Damn,
I know, right?
we're fake.
It's the only one.
If you think R-CADE doesn't know nostalgia, memorabilia, and retro, Michelle's just proved you wrong. Snip snap.
As far as I know, It's Britney was also not Britney. It was somebody else that came up with that catchphrase.
Will.i.am.
Was
Yeah,
it Will.i.am?
because it's in the Will.i.am song.
There
yeah,
you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
It
then she
wasn't Britney
started like
herself.
using it after that because she used it in like.
Yeah, she coined it, but
Yeah,
it wasn't her that
but it
originally came
was-
up with
yeah.
it.
My brain had said that because she's obviously a child star turned into big Hollywood celebrity. I had the brain thought that maybe when she was a child star they'd gone with It's Britney, baby, and then now that she was an adult, she was like, no, I'm an adult now.
Well, we can see the
Britney.
link.
And
Yeah.
that was like, I thought that'd be cool.
I can see it like some sort of the Disney Club thing. No, is it
It's
Disney?
Justin, baby.
Yeah,
he was.
yeah, that would be the kind of thing they would do. Yeah, but no.
Welcome to the R-CADE Podcast. I am Sam. You can find me on social media at Quantum Roberts, and I am joined, as always, by the other members of the R-CADE staff, including
Sophie.
Michelle.
And Andrew, who you can find online, is at Japandrew.
Yay, he's doing it still. That means I can keep putting it in the vlogs. Vlogs, you say? Yes.
Ooh, what are those?
You can watch our vlogs on youtube.com/R-CADE Glasgow. R-CADE Glasgow.
Those are my senders.
They
might-
are my Crocs.
If you watch enough of the vlog, you will see Andrew, Michelle, and Sophie recite multiple vines.
Yeah.
Yep.
Vines are great. Bring back Vines.
Yes. This month's R-CADE Podcast, we accidentally celebrate Disney's centenary and the 36th anniversary of Pixar. Plus,
Excuse me, that was
Accidentally.
absolutely intentional.
Totally planned.
We
Totally
totally knew there was
planned.
Pixar 40 this month, and we absolutely meant that.
plus we review R-CADE's 5th birthday celebrations and talk about things. I never know how to end that section.
Stay
If
tuned
you-
for us talking about things.
If you want to see more of R-CADE Glasgow, again, you can do that on YouTube, you can do that on TikTok, you can do that on Twitch, you can do it Instagram, on Facebook, here, there, blah, 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 whatever you're after. You can also go to arcadeglasgow.com, correct?
Yes.
I was scared for a second.
Yeah.
And there you can buy passes to our retro video game inspired arcade and nostalgia cafe here in the centre of Glasgow, Scotland at 121 Saltmarket.
Nice.
I always pause for approval.
Pause for applause.
Where's the applause
Correct,
button?
Sam.
Oh, I took the buttons away on
Oh,
the
you
screen.
can remove those?
Yeah, you can take
Thank
them away.
God.
I know, right? That's the recording software we're referring to. I've removed all the stock sound buttons.
Suck sound?
Suck sound. The
No.
Do you want to add some new stock
Nope.
sounds? We could add. Can you add stock sounds?
I believe you can. Yes.
Ooh.
I can. Should we do some little arcade bits? Like I
Maybe.
used to record lots of bits for the podcast during our Twitch streams.
I mean, it would make sense.
We used to have our interstitials and stuff for like the games that we were
Yeah,
doing,
yeah.
but I didn't know if that was possible here, so I've just not been.
I can upgrade us next time, but not today.
All right, cool. Well, come back next month.
It's exciting.
We're developing. That's next month. Last month. That's right. We talk about the past here because we're all about retro.
Just last month was retro.
Last month. Well, we're all retro. Everything's retro.
I know, right?
Everything's retro.
It's the kids that come in that are 10 years old and they see the Wii and say that's so retro.
I mean,
That's-
I have to tell people I was in primary school when it came out, so that's kind of retro.
Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
that's so Raven.
That's so retro. Let's not talk about that, so Raven. Let's instead talk about our arcade school disco,
Ooh.
which was part of our 5th birthday celebrations. If you missed this last month or don't know who we are, because the shop turned 5, we were like, oh, it's old enough to go to school, so we're going to school themed everything's. So we did a school disco. How did
I
you
was
like
there. I enjoyed it. It was good fun.
It? Yeah.
I got to wear my school tie from, I think it was my 5th or my 6th year in school, where I was a school prefect. It has prefect written on it. I don't know if I was supposed to keep it, but I have. It's been a couple of decades now, so screw you, school. It's mine.
They're still asking for it back.
They're still chasing me. They don't know where I am, though. Shh, nobody tell them.
Yeah, we were intended that everyone was supposed to come in school uniform, and I forgot, and so I came dressed like I was coming to a school disco, so I had a Hawaiian shirt on.
Yeah, there was a bit of miscommunication there. I think.
I was in trouble.
Everyone else
A
had
little bit.
uniforms on and
Well,
Sam came Hawaiian.
I didn't have a uniform on because my school did not have a uniform, so I did my best. I did my best with what I
I
have.
did my best, Mom.
So I kind of looked a little bit school.
You look schooly. You look more schooly than me.
It was
I'm sorry. I should have done
We need to
knee slides.
clarify things more in the future, I think.
No, it's I there was a lot going on that week.
When are we going to see the photo booth photos, Michelle?
That's what I was going to ask. We had a
Ooh,
photo booth set
yeah.
up, green screen.
Yeah.
Michelle was taking snappy snaps.
When I edit them, yeah.
I really enjoyed mine. So
I know.
mine was fun.
I need to learn not to sleep, so I've got time to do all the things that I need to do.
that's what I do. I don't sleep. I just keep going.
Yeah, I know, right?
know a TikTok already that we need to post once they're edited, which is just the Freaks and Geeks opening
Yes.
soundtrack. Yes, but with all those photos.
What a show!
We
If
didn't
you-
do a class photo, and I'm really sad about that. So
Oh,
we did.
no.
I know we did
You
individual
didn't,
photos on the
yeah.
night, but we didn't do a full class photo.
I
of
don't think we'd
everybody
be able
that
to
was
fit us all into that
Yeah,
frame anyway.
It probably
so.
would have been really hard.
Not on the
to-
green, but we could have
there.
got
We did do
on
the
the
group
benches.
photo of the pub crawl thing.
Yes,
We'll get onto that in a
we'll
minute.
get onto
But
that later.
yeah, I'm kind of sad about the school photo thing. But I mean, we could Photoshop them all together like a really bad 90s montage.
Yes.
The photos
That
just all they already looked sick, and after editing,
Yeah.
they're going to look even
They
more
looked like
amazing.
headshots.
I will get
They
into
were
them, I
so,
promise.
like-
I will do it this year sometime.
Yeah, definitely. Just like I'm going to edit the vlog for the pub crawl
Oh, yeah.
at some point this year.
Also, things that we need to edit and put on the YouTube is the building of 121 Saltmarket
Oh,
is
no.
still needed to be edited.
Nah, they've got the first bit. They've got
No.
part 1 of 5. That's all they need.
We actually did do part 1 of 5, and we have the rest of them,
Don't
know
which
all
has
the
never
footage,
been
yeah.
I
edited.
feel like you should maybe send me this stuff.
Probably
The person
be a
who does
good
our
idea.
monthly vlog.
Yeah, that might be an idea. I might chuck it all your way, Sam.
I've
Thank
got.
you.
I'd always say you should, and it just
So
never
we find
comes.
videos here, you go.
I do enjoy the editing part, though.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
But I just never find the time to do it. So
One of the other things that we had as part of the school disco is obviously you need music, and Sophie has become the resident playlist maker.
I am the
Indeed.
DJ.
any highlights from the playlist? Any songs that pop in your head
Well,
right now that
I,
you're happy you managed to find?
I picked a lot of I tried to do all of the different
Oh,
years of
eras,
people that would be
yeah,
at the
yeah.
party. So I did 90s stuff, and then I did 2000s stuff, and
What?
so I put a lot of Girls Aloud on it, and I love Girls Aloud, so I
Yes.
was jamming.
What was the song that you found that you forgot existed? Because I remember you screaming at me, going, "Oh my god!"
I've probably
Oh,
forgot it existed
It was
again.
was that Pussycat Dolls? I think it was, or something like that.
What's new, Pussycat?
No.
Wait,
Oh.
hold on.
Not Tom Jones.
Black Eyed Peas. I can't remember.
My
There
dad
was
done
I don't
something.
know.
Black Eyed Peas and
Again,
Fugees confused.
I will remember in a few years, and then I'll be like, "Oh my god, I forgot that existed."
Roy Walker.
That's a callback to Sophie wasn't even in the room. the school disco, we also had a family one the next day. So we do all of our like special events on Saturday night lates usually, and then Sundays, if it's a big special event, we'll do like a family version
You
sometimes.
do realise that the family one happened on the Saturday.
It
before
was the
late
same
I'm
day.
so tired.
It was the same day. So it was the family one first, and then it was the
Yeah.
late
Oh,
one.
yeah.
It's a double whammy.
Because what we did was we also brought in trays of school cake and
Oh
custard.
yeah, which you
So
made
everybody
from
got-
scratch, Michelle.
Yeah, I like cake.
Yeah.
So we had the school cake with jam and coconut, and then the icing one. We also
Yum.
still had some leftover birthday cake
This is true.
as well. So yeah, everybody that came had a little carton of juice and a wee slice of cake and
I like to
custard.
point out that it was really difficult to give everybody free cake that weekend.
Why?
I don't know. It just felt really stressful. I
No
was
one
like,
wanted it.
well,
Everyone's
yeah,
too polite.
yeah. The people didn't want to
Yeah.
accept free cake. What
I
is
will.
wrong with people?
The diabetic will take it. Someone on Twitter implied that diabetics, we keep our insulin in a utility belt. And I was like, where was that on the NHS funding? I want a utility belt for my insulin. The one flaw with Sophie's disco playlist was that during the family session, there was a sudden realization that we should not have been listening to half the songs we did at school discos.
Yeah,
And that
Yeah.
now it was
It
our
was-
responsibility to save the children.
that's why I'm thinking
Yeah.
of Pussycat Dolls, because that did come
Yeah,
on. And we were
yeah, I
like,
did
oh,
have
no.
to skip a
Boom Boom
couple of
song.
ones when I was like, wait a minute, and I just was like,
Mm.
I'm gonna skip this one.
Next.
But it was like it was something that I didn't even think about when I was making it, because I was like, I listened to this when I was like 11. This is fine. And
I
then
turned
when they
out
were
good.
playing, I was like, wait a minute. Maybe I should have been listening to this when I was 11.
It's something that comes up a lot in arcade with video
Yeah.
games as well, like games that you played when you were a kid. You're like, oh wait, I didn't realize that this was this raucous.
Yeah.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh.
And that's already a 15.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But I was 3.
yeah, but school disco parties were fun. They were really
They were
good
cool.
fun.
I enjoyed
I
it.
didn't do
I
a
had a
power
good
knee
time.
slide like I said I would do, so that's on me. That's 2 failures.
I don't know.
So-
Can you do a power knee slide in a Hawaiian shirt?
Well, that's what most kids at my school discos would do, which is why it was in my head, because Hawaiian shirt. Well, it wasn't a Hawaiian shirt. I just couldn't find the Guy Fieri style flame shirt.
That's
Oh,
fair.
also, since I keep forgetting to bring this up, I did introduce a bunch of our friends to Guy's grocery games, and I'm very proud of myself. It was a good time.
Nice.
Sorry, that's just a little aside. As well as the school discos, Michelle's already mentioned it. We went on a birthday pub crawl. We did that 2 years in a row for our first and second birthdays, and then things got in the way of doing it anymore. And so this is the first time we've done a pub crawl in a while.
A long while. Yeah.
That was alright.
It was alright. It was like it was actually quite a good journey. I really had a good night. It was
You seem
really really good
surprised.
fun. Yeah, I am surprised.
How dare you?
I-
We are all delightful.
No, less to do with the company and more to do with it was a Sunday night. Which I never have a good time on a Sunday night. I always find it's like
Yeah, but
Like you've just
honestly,
been-
it's partly why, because we thought about doing it on the Friday after late or
this
something.
is right, yeah.
But I pushed hard to do the Sunday because, first of all, Friday nights are mobbed in town.
Yep.
Yeah.
The BAMs are out. No offense, but yous are. And it's super busy, and things like asking each of the venues, can you put a table aside for us and stuff, would never have happened on a Friday night.
Reserving space is
So-
difficult. when it's
And
that
also,
busy.
I know a few of our customers who came with us are a bit anxious about big crowds and stuff.
So doing it on a
So
quieter
doing it
night.
on a
is
quieter
better for
night
them,
was
yeah.
just a bit nicer for them.
And that's what made it nicer, I think, which is what I was surprised by. But I think the company was really, really good, and that's why
a
we
nice
had such a
mixture.
good time. We started the night at 13th Note, round the corner from R-CADE. Good friends of ours. We've been going there for a
We
while.
started the night with creating anxiety by bringing out Don't Get Got,
Ah.
the game that we only play, which I smacked my head a second ago because I've still got to bring those
You
things
still
back.
got it?
They're in a bag. There's also a Beanie Baby in there and a Sonic the Hedgehog belt buckle for Andy if he wants it. But yeah, so if you've not played Don't Get Got, basically it's just you have to complete challenges as part of a pair throughout the evening, which usually just involves tricking the other people in your group, and it just creates a lot of tension and frustration, and then someone wins, and then for the rest of the night you're like, ah.
Basically, it's just a whole trust issue. Nobody trusts anyone for the first half of the night.
I won, I'd like to point
Okay.
out.
You
I
are
won.
somebody.
Myself
Who
and
was your team
Matthew.
again?
Matthew was my teammate.
We'll get to
me
the
and-
tale of Matthew
me-
later.
Me and Matt, we actually completed it at our second venue, so we managed to get everybody got by the time we reached Super Barrio. So that was that's where we ended up after the 13th Note.
Sean had 17 espresso martinis.
As per usual.
Oh yeah,
Something
and the fun
like
thing
that.
is you can actually see the progression of the night on TikTok, because
Absolutely.
I mean, I forgot half the time. After a few drinks, you forget to record stuff. But we were trying to do the whole TikTok trend of, hello, my name is da-da-da, this is my first drink, this is my second drink. So by the time we got to like the third, fourth venue, we kept forgetting because it got a couple of drinks in.
Well, I think I was, again, the one that instigated that in 13th Note, because I was like, we should totally do this. But I had already finished my first drink when I said we should do it.
Sean was on drink 3 by the time we started.
We all
was already
said
on
it
his
was
third
first drink because everyone was either halfway through it or finished it.
By
So
the
we're like,
time
this
we
was
remembered,
my first drink.
My winking doesn't come across well on camera, by the way. I think it's good IRL, but it does not look great in a camera.
And it's a slow slur throughout the night. The more
That's the
drinks
whole
get...
point in that.
Oh no,
trend,
it's
though.
great.
It's
I love
beautiful.
it.
Yeah.
And
I
as
mean,
always,
Sam were sober, so we were just like,
the epic Sean towards the end was my name is Sean. This was my this is a non-alcoholic drink. I promise.
I've been told to stop.
Just to stop drinking.
yeah.
So shout out to 13th Note, shout out to Barrio as well.
And
13th Note has
Alchemist.
the scariest bathrooms I've ever been in, though.
The what?
13th Note has
does.
the scariest bathrooms.
that's
I
the,
scared
that's the
someone
ambience.
That's because it's a gig venue in the
Yeah.
basement as well as the bar
Yeah.
upstairs. So
It's-
you have that's a natural thing to have.
Oh, yeah.
It's swinging doors going down as well, and someone about half my size almost
Yes.
smacked me in the face, and
That's
then he was
right.
like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Swinging doors?
Yeah, they go for and back, like to
Yeah.
get
Not
into the
my brain told me it was that's
revolving doors.
Rotating doors.
Okay, I was
No,
like,
it
wow.
was like the doors. I want the saloon door.
We will get them one day.
We went to Alchemist. That
We
was
did.
funky and fresh and
That
fancy.
that was a surprise. I was again, because it was a Sunday night, it was a bit more chill, a bit more laid back. I think if it was a Saturday or a Friday or Saturday, then it would have been jumping.
We probably wouldn't be allowed in.
And
if
we
it was
probably
too
would have
busy.
got knocked back at the door.
We didn't look like people that should be allowed in a nice.
But yeah,
place.
the
Oh,
Alchemist.
lovely.
The Alchemist is on George Square. No, yeah, George
Yeah,
Square,
it's-
yeah. And they do fancy cocktails and mad,
They set them on
crazy,
fire and
crazy
stuff.
drinks
Based
that-
on science.
science. I walked away with a hip flask.
I would like to
as
say he
part of
bought
my-
it. He didn't
as
steal
part
it.
of as part of one of the drinks I purchased. Can you let me finish, please? Yeah, I got a hip flask as one of the drinks. I got. You got a drink in a waffle cone, Michelle.
My drink was edible.
An
And drinkable.
edible cup.
Yes, so the cup, I could eat the cup when I was done, and it
Delicious.
tasted amazing. It was kind of like strawberry daiquiri-ish, but then it had
The
squishy
white
cream
chocolate
made
cream
of
foam.
salted caramel,
Yeah,
and oh my god, it was amazing.
yeah, that's good.
So Alchemist was cool, and we finished the night in the Cat House, which was only the second time I've been in the Catty, and both times have been for work-related things. The first time I drank a pint of milk. If you want to hear that story, come to 121 Saltmarket and just say, "Sam, tell me about the milk." And we'll see what happens.
Tell me about the milk.
I'd like to also say thank you to the Cat House who gave us some free birthday tickets.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we got in
Free
free
guest listed.
because they're awesome guys and they helped us celebrate our birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it was my first time in Catty. which
Sophie got the
was-
party started.
Yeah, it was like there was like an hour of them just playing like
Standards.
songs that I loved
No.
from when I was like 13, and I was like, this so surreal. So I had like an hour of just like song after song. I was like, right, I can't sit down now. So I was just like, yeah, and then I got very tired.
The thing is, the
Nothing.
Cat House have been playing those songs every single weekend since you were
Since you-
13.
Yeah, but
so
I didn't know that. So to me, it was like,
Damn,
funky
57
fresh.
years.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's fair.
yeah.
That's fair.
No, they've literally been going for, was it nearly 30 years, I think.
They're celebrating the
Was it?
birthday.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
so I'd like
Um,
just missed the cut off of like unders.
Yeah.
Mm.
So like I went to a gig in Catty that was like the first time going in, and then I was like, oh, I should go to unders, and then I was like, no, I'm actually kind of scared of the idea of going to that.
Honestly,
So then I
Unders
didn't go, and then
was-
I'd like just missed it.
Yeah. Honestly, you wouldn't have wanted to go Unders.
No, I.
It's very, very well known that Unders was hilariously scary.
yeah.
I think I went a couple of times and I was like, I can't do this.
I'd heard many a tale of
Oh, yeah, so I did.
unders. So
My
Yeah,
friend
it was-
got bitten.
It was iconic.
a nice
R.I.P. Unders. Let's not bring that back.
But yes, the story of Matthew. I want to tell the story because all of my colleagues were like, "What do you mean by the story of Matthew?" When I put it
I
into
think
the
I know what
rundown.
you mean now, because now I know what Matthew we're talking
Well, I
about.
instantly
so I'm
knew the
like,
story. I
Thank
was
you.
on the way.
You know
for
the
it.
tale. I saw
Yeah,
Matthew
yeah.
yesterday actually. So
Oh, did you?
I know
That's
Matthew. He
nice.
explained Yu-Gi-Oh. But we were trying to go into the Cat House. Matthew been with us the whole evening. We went to go into the Cat House, and they were like, "Sorry, mate, you've got joggies on, you can't come in. And we all went, we didn't even realise. Oh, so sorry, Matt. Look, this is probably the end of your night. Look, it's been a good evening. We've had like multiple. You had fun. See you later. And he was like, all right.
So Matthew went home.
Matthew went home. And then an hour and a half later, in the middle of some sick tunes on the dance floor, sync tunes.
In sync.
In sync tunes on the dance floor. Who walks through the door to a massive cheer from yours truly, wearing suit trousers? But Matthew, who was very, very concerned for our well-being, because there were a lot of people who had had a lot to drink, screaming away, Matthew!
Yeah, we all just like lost our minds in the middle of a dance floor,
What a legend,
screaming
though.
at Matthew. He was quite out of breath because he had physically ran from the cat house to his house. I don't know where he lives, but it must have been a wee bit away. Ran to his house. He told us that he ransacked his bedroom to find the only pair of non-joggies he owns, just so he could put on suit trousers, run back and join us, which was adorable, and I love that.
So Matthew, you're now a legend in the eyes of R-CADE.
What was it?
I will never
Everyone
forget your
was
name
calling Matthew that whole night.
It wasn't
getting
everyone,
Daniel.
it was just me that
was
kept calling him
just
Daniel.
you.
Because we also had Daniel with us, and both
No.
of them had been in a couple of times, but not enough that I knew them.
No,
So kept
I
messing
was
up.
calling him Daniel at the start because it's one of our don't get guts, was to get someone to correct you. So that's why I was doing it.
Oh.
And I have the sneaking suspicion that everyone else was just
No,
going,
I messed up because I was like, what's your name? Daniel was like, my name's Daniel. And then Matthew was there. I was like, what's your name? He was like, Matthew. And I was like, all right, Daniel. So I'd messed up for ages. But I will now never forget the story of Matthew.
Was he not on your team though?
yes.
So why were you saying his name wrong?
Because
Get
someone
someone
has
else.
to
You're
correct
anyone-
me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've
Someone
caught
else
up.
from
I've
another
caught up.
team.
It's fine.
Yep,
I'm
there you
good.
go,
I'm
there you
good.
go,
I've
there you
caught
go.
up. Brain is working now.
Man, I'm trying to think of a transition, but I can't. Anyway, that was like January. But as I said, in February, we've been celebrating Disney. We did a Disney Pixar themed quiz. Sophie, what's the name of it?
Quizney Pixar.
Thank you. Very, very funny. We
came
happy
up
with
with
that? We good with that?
Yes.
We enjoy that?
Quizney Pixar.
That actually
That was hectic.
It was the busiest quiz that we have ever done in R-CADE. The turnout was phenomenal, even to the point where I think 2 or 3 couples who came in, I think they might have had a vague idea that there was a quiz happening, but they didn't come down specifically for the quiz. Then wanted to join the quiz because it looked so much
Shout
fun.
out to the 4 different couples that agreed to go into teams so that we could
Yes.
make the numbers work. One of those teams won the whole thing.
That is right. That
And
is
they were
absolutely
stuck
right.
around the corner where they couldn't see the screen. So,
Not to keep moving round.
so I don't know how they won.
They,
The rest of you should be ashamed.
they performed like exponentially better than anyone else. It looked
They
very.
were all convinced they were going to lose, though.
I know they were so like we don't know anything about.
So basically,
Disney,
vastly
Pixar,
overestimated
we're-
everyone
nah.
else's.
Yeah, pretty much.
I understand it.
But yeah, it was the busiest quiz we've had in the new venue. We packed out, I think, an extra 2 tables that we normally wouldn't have had that many people in. So I think, congrats to everybody that took part. We didn't even, some of the regulars or our current, the champions coming into this month were not even here.
We
somehow.
had
21,
I'm
I
doing
think.
21 doing it.
Because we had 2 teams of 3. No, 20.
2 teams of 3, a team of 5, and then 2 teams of 4 and a team of 2.
A team of 2, yeah.
Maths.
And we squished them all in, and it was great. I was
we
very
had
proud.
18.
Always very
17,
proud
we
of
had
the
17.
quizzes I make, but very, very proud of the Pixar one. I got to do some photoshopping, so that was good fun. I quite
Oh,
enjoyed
the
that.
celebrities Pixarified.
No,
was
not even
awesome.
that.
The
That was
posters.
awesome though, but that's what came to my mind. That was sick.
So I took one of the rounds. I took a lot of celebrity photographs, and I used the Snapchat filter to sort of Disneyfy them or turn them into animated Pixar characters. And people had to guess who they were based on the results of that. So it was really good. I was more proud of my Who's Missing round,
Yeah.
where I took 4 Toy Story movies and a Toy Story TV movie, and I took a character out of the poster for those movies, and people had to guess who was missing. I'll post those on Twitter actually after tonight, and you guys can have a go and figure out who's missing. It was good. I really enjoyed it.
Quiz was fun. We also had our first ever friendship club.
Yay.
Michelle, talk to us about friendship club. What was it? What is it? What will it be? What could it become?
Well, your question in the notes is, why are we doing this?
Why?
Not in that
Please don't
tone.
make me do that again. Why?
It's more of a why. Why are we doing this? Not a why are we doing this?
doing this?
I love
Don't make me
friendship.
do it.
It's Disney month.
People.
So we had this idea of doing some sort of meet-up event thingy. We've tried a few different formats of it, but we thought we'll try and do like a kids version of a meet-up, like make friends basically. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's a friendship club, you make friends. So the format of it was that we had 15 tickets for the arcades, but it was aimed at kids aged 8 to 16. And the whole point is it's only the kids that go into the arcade, so the parents get to hang out in the cafe, get a coffee, wait for them if you like. And then what we do as the staff was introduce kids to each other, and get loads of multiplayer games and encourage them to start talking to other humans. Pretty much. Because from us doing sessions in here all the time, there's a lot of kids that maybe are a bit anxious about making friends. They don't know how to talk to other people. It's a whole, what do you call it? We've had this discussion before about the effect the pandemic's had on younger kids. Their social skills have not developed enough, because that's been almost 2 years of not interacting.
Not just us either. Like it is a known thing that there's
it's a whole thing.
I will say the other side of that is we do something with the kids who are in sessions who are just saying to someone they don't know, "Hey, would you like to play with me?"
Yeah. And
so that's a way that you realise, well, it isn't that difficult.
No.
Just sometimes it's nice to have a helping hand with it.
So it was a lovely mixture of people that came in. So there were some kids who were confident enough to talk to other people, and they were so lovely and open and friendly, and they teamed up with a lot of stuff for games and things. And then you had the other kids who were quite anxious, and we helped them introduce. What was the thing that happened to you, Sophie, that you nearly died from exploding heart?
Oh yeah, there was a wee kid was like went back and was talking to their mum and went like, "Mum, I made a friend," and I was like, "Wow, it worked!" And it was so cute. Yeah, so that was very cute. It felt very like we've
had a plan.
It was successful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt it was good.
We got so many amazing reviews as well from it, even before the event started, because on the Facebook page there were so many parents going, "I love this idea. I'm gutted it's sold out." Or there was parents saying, I'm gutted I don't live as close. Wish you could do this in my area." That kind of stuff. And then even after the event, we did get messages and comments from the parents of kids that did come, saying they had an amazing time and stuff. So I think we're doing it. Probably going to be doing it once a month. Maybe twice a month if it gets super popular. But we'll do once a month. I think the next one's on the 3rd of March.
Okay.
That we're doing it again. It'll be on a Friday evening. Same idea. You get tickets for your kids, and they just come and make some pals.
Was it Jamie that was there?
Jamie was a support worker for one of the kids that was there. Jamie is a bit younger as well.
Jamie was like, but I wanted to specifically say thank you and shout out to Jamie for being also wonderful and helping us out with that stuff.
Oh yeah, it was really nice. Yeah,
we are doing all that we can to make sure that the kids are having a good time and make sure they're interacting, getting to know new people. But it is really lovely to have someone there who was instantly like, there's this kid who's just come back into the session, doesn't really know what to do. I'm going to be the first person that's like, "Hey, do you want to do something?" That was really nice to have someone there who got what we were trying to do and helped out with that as well, which is nice. So thank you to Jamie. I'll say that.
Yes, he's lovely.
Yeah, that's Friendship Club. So we will be doing it again, and it was successful. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Very quickly, here are some things that are coming up for the rest of February and for the beginning of March. I don't have everything down here, so if I can be corrected when I'm wrong, let me know. And we will go over these again at the end of the show. Disney SingStar Night is this Saturday. If you are listening to this, I'm presuming this will go out at some point very soon.
The 18th of February.
18th of February from 7 p.m. It's part of R-CADE Late, so it's an over 18s only event. Get your tickets online.
I think we only have like 1 or 2 Disney SingStar, or is it just one Disney SingStar?
But game,
yeah.
There is only one.
Okay, there is only one.
Game.
So I mean, I would like to say disclaimer. We have obviously titled it Disney SingStar Night. But there will be other songs, because we can't just have one game for the whole night.
Yeah, you can.
So
it's just going to be me singing A Whole New World on repeat.
Okay, never mind. You've all been warned. It'll just be A Whole New World on repeat.
I'm just going to do a duet with other people every single thing.
Yeah. Me and Andrew are bringing back our Eminem. Our Eminem performance with crab claws included.
You do realise that the video of you two doing the crab thing is still on our Instagram.
Oh, it's not only
highlights.
on the Instagram, it is also on our 5-year anniversary video, which you can watch
So
on our YouTube channel.
Boom.
Oh,
I'm going to plug that.
I know, we didn't talk about that.
Well, that's, I mean, we don't need to. It's the most viewed thing we've ever put out. Which, like I've said, I want to give it a professional thumbnail, but just Nadia's
No.
face is getting a lot of clicks apparently. Nadia in suit jacket gets the views apparently. So yes, Disney Sing Starts Tonight. Then the following Saturday, that is the 25th of February, it's Pajama Party Lates. Come in your snazziest PJs.
Disney theme preferable.
It doesn't
Yeah.
need to be, but you know, ideally
That's
it will be.
what's
It's the
Terrible.
theme of the month. It has to be Disney.
Some of us have to go and buy pajamas.
Yeah.
Just come in a Hawaiian
Yes,
shirt.
not
You'll be
your
fine.
I would like to state birthday suits are not allowed. It is pajamas specific.
What if I just wear a Mickey right here?
No, is that pajamas?
I thought that was like a type of clothing. And I was like, is that like
I
another
was
term
trying
for a
to figure that
speedo?
out as well.
Well, like a
but-
teddy, like
Oh.
A Mickey. I'm just gonna put on my Mickey. I'll be with
I'll
you
be
in a
honest, I
second.
haven't thought too much about what we're doing specifically at the pajama party. People are just literally going to be hanging out playing games in their
Pillow
pajamas.
fight.
pillow
I
fight. This
said
is what I
pillow fight.
said.
But I'm like, do we want that to happen? Because I sense that that's going to cause damage to things.
Snowballs that we usually
Well,
use.
you
are
have to
like
sign the
lights.
waiver if you're going to do the pillow
No,
fight.
but damage to the things we own.
Oh,
Not each other, I don't care.
no, just
I
don't,
mean-
only do it in the cafe. Don't do
Yeah,
it in the arcade,
yeah.
please.
Sacrifice the cafe.
No, right, excuse me.
We should do it in the street.
We'll tape everything down. It's fine.
Pajama
Do it in
party.
the street. I would love there is what's the word here? Saltmarket is notorious for having weirdos in the street. Lovely weirdos, I would like to state, but
a
I think
pillow fight
adding
wouldn't
us
be
as
that
a pillow fight in the street really isn't going to
Wouldn't be
isn't
that
going to
bad.
help
we'd
the
im-
reputation
I
of
think
this
we'd
street.
improve house prices. The following day is a family fun Disney party. That is February 26th from 4:40 p.m. So come along to that if you and your family love Disney, which how could you not? Look at them ears. And then, as Michelle said earlier, we've got Friendship Club making its triumphant return, probably, on March the 3rd, which is a Friday as well. And the only other thing I've got noted down right now is we're making March the month of Mario, because of the Mario
March
Day.
10th.
Is
March 10th is Mario Day, yes.
But that means that our quiz for the month is going to be Nintendo themed. So that
Hopefully,
is going to be a Nintendo themed quiz
Hopefully.
Yes.
on March 4th.
Mm.
Quiz Nintendo.
No.
Nintendo.
No.
That doesn't work because you also
Nintendo quiz.
said, you said Quizney again.
Yeah, that's what I was going. I couldn't think what else to do.
Wait, that's not right.
Mario and Quiz Luigi.
Quiz Luigi.
That's everything coming up in Arcade. Coming up on this program, we're going to talk about Disney. That's after
Yeah.
these messages.
I also was going to say I really like
that was the advert.
pause.
Come back to the ad break.
A really, really big thing that's happening in March is that we are changing our prices and altering our opening times, which is a pretty big deal. Which I forgot to mention in the thing. So
We're not revealing exact details right now, but if you
I will hopefully be doing it tonight, which means that tomorrow this podcast should be out, so it should be there by then.
We're not talking about it right now.
Okay, never mind.
Because I'll get something wrong. But it will be, if you're hearing us talk about it right now, it will be on social media, it will be on our site.
Check
You
out
will be
our
able to see
website.
it.
Yeah.
This is not something
Changes
that
are
we-
coming. There you go.
Changes are coming. This is not something that we're doing like haphazardly or randomly. It's a necessity in a lot of ways. So come to that with an open mind, and again, you'll see it on all of our socials and things. It's not something we're going to be hiding, but we just don't want to talk about it here because I'm most likely to get something wrong, and I do a lot of talking. So
It's a secret.
now back to these messages. Do you feel like your business could do with some more advertisement? You should get in contact with R-CADE Glasgow. You can find our email address on our website, 'cause I don't know it off the top of my head. Thank you for listening to those
Is
ads.
that a real thing?
I don't know.
we
If someone,
doing
wants, if someone wants to sponsor us, why not? I don't think we've any right, but who cares?
We could totally do an ad break and we could totally advertise
Yeah.
something that's okay.
Hey,
I'd-
I
yeah.
am the jingle
Future-
guy. I got this.
Okay, future
Well-
reference. Let's remember adverts for the next one.
Yeah, we just need
Yes.
someone to pay us.
I know, and I can just click a button and it starts the ad.
Yeah, I'd love to do an ad break.
Ooh.
Those are fun.
I like
And
making them
feel
up on the
fresh.
spot, though.
Is it
That
like
was
the
good.
Fraser
I
Crane
enjoyed
show
that.
thing? We'll right back after these messages and then you click
Well,
on.
It's Frasier. No.
No,
Was that Winter Wonderland?
Frasier.com.
I was doing
it's the song
Beyblade.
his dad makes up for his jingle on his show. Never mind. Next.
Anyway,
Speaking of next, Disney month, that's what we're talking about. So I just want to talk about some of our favourite Disney things. I'm going to throw some questions at the lovely staff of R-CADE, because that's what you all are, lovely. And we can just talk about things that come to mind. And friends. Staff and friends. You decide. So, obvious question. What's your favourite Disney movie, guys? Hey, guys.
Tangled.
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 I feel like that's an underrated pick. People don't say that enough.
Yeah, that
It
was
got
my
overshadowed by Frozen.
yeah, but my introduction thingy on Instagram was talking about how I can quote like majority of that film.
Yeah.
It's like because I watched it so much when it came out that
Was
I
it a
like
comfort movie?
knew, yes. I knew like every single word and I could sing all of the songs, and I used to like perform it.
Tangled is it Mandy Moore
Yeah.
Yes.
and
yes.
Zachary Levi?
It's
Yeah.
Rapunzel.
Yeah, sorry,
Mandy Moore's really good.
I'm
as
doing my
Rapunzel.
braincast, you know,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
movie buff knowledge guy thing.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite movie, Andy? from Disney?
From Disney, just in general.
Do you have a favourite Disney movie? Old Boy.
So I've struggled with this. I like Michelle did the quick fire thing, which went up on Instagram Reels and TikTok, asking everybody what their favorite Disney movie was, and it's tough. My automatic reaction would be Aladdin, because I adored that
Robin
movie as a
Williams.
kid. Robin Williams is like the acting god that he was one of my favorite actors as a kid. So Aladdin would probably be my snap decision, but I've realised that I love a lot of the Disney classics more recently. So Sword in the Stone is one of my absolute favourite Disney movies as a child. I watched that obsessively when I was younger. And then even going into more weird, obscure stuff, like Disney live action stuff, like Michelle was talking about Mary Poppins, Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I watched a lot when I was a kid as well. With Angela Lansbury, absolutely adored that movie.
It's the crossover between animation and live action. I love that.
Yeah,
I always
yeah.
forget about the live actions being Disney.
Yeah.
I
So
loved Mary Poppins.
It was so good.
I'd probably still say a snap decision Aladdin still to this day, but that's 90s era. If I go back to the classics, Sword in the Stone for the old 60s.
But
movies.
90s would have been when you were growing up watching this stuff at like
That
peak,
was-
so like,
yeah.
and it was a bigger deal at the time because it had just come out.
It was
and
the new
stuff.
stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Michelle?
Classic stuff, Fantasia.
Original Fantasia. Yeah,
Original
yeah.
Fantasia.
Not
2001.
2000.
Let's not talk about 2001. That sucks.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, because Fantasia, there's nothing like it. There's no other movie ever made that's anything like it. The idea that the creators made animation based purely on the music, all classical music, and even when I was little, like when I was tiny, watching that, listening to classical music, which is something you thought you would never do as a little kid, but every time I hear any of those songs, I instantly see the little dancing flowers or the hippo or stuff like that. It's just all...
Excuse me, when I was like 4 years old, I was busting out moves to Rachmaninoff. Easy, yeah.
But yeah, it's just I love how, and also because it was made, when was that made? 40s? 50s?
Fantasia was 50s.
Was it?
I looked this up last night because
Yeah,
I
I
was
know.
curious.
The fact
about-
that for being so early on in the animation kind of world, the stuff they designed, created and invented for that movie was amazing.
Yeah.
So I love every single part of it, and the fact that it feels like it lasts for about 3 hours because there's so many different storylines, because you've got like the seasons one, you've got the one where it goes from the first amoebas all the way through to the evolution of man and all that, then you've got the Mickey Mouse bit, then like there's just so many parts of it. It feels like it lasts forever, but not in a way that you're bored of it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my favourite. And then my other one's Emperor's New Groove.
Which was 90s. No, 2000s.
2000s.
2000s, yeah.
So classic one Fantasia, newer one Emperor's New Groove, because it's hilarious.
Can I add a bonus two? Like my other two.
You
like,
can have two. You've already had one.
No, but like Tangled is like my top.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Favorite.
You can have one more.
But one more.
No, name
more.
both of
Okay,
them.
right, can I do one for... No, I'm doing two, right. Princess and the Frog, because the soundtrack is amazing.
Fair.
Yeah.
And
Never
then
seen.
Hercules, and the only reason why Hercules isn't like my favourite is because the name really bothers me, because his name in Greek mythology wasn't Hercules, it was Heracles, and that makes me very angry. But other than that, I love the film. So yeah, that's my top 3 Disney movies.
We talked Disney. What about Pixar again? We talked that it's their 32nd.
No.
You've not said
What are
yours?
Oh, sorry. Infinity War.
Yep. Yeah.
No, I always say Treasure Planet, but that's largely because of the Bread Sword video, which everyone should absolutely go and watch. It's got like 5 million YouTube views, and is well worth seeing because of like the interesting information about that movie that most people would not know. I definitely would not know without seeing it. But I also think I watched it a lot growing up because it's like cool space like it's space but also pirates. It's very cool. And the music's great, and when you learn more about how it looks, like why it looks the way it does, it makes you appreciate just how pretty some of the colours and things about it are. So I always recommend people to go and watch the Bread Sword video about Treasure Planet.
It's an interesting one, Treasure Planet, because it actually signalled the death of Disney hand-drawn animation. I think I think they did Atlantis after Treasure Planet. Is that right?
Yeah, the same film.
And
Yeah, but would you like more space or water? You tell me.
They are the same film.
You like space?
and
Treasure
then-
Planet's better, but they're the same film.
Thank
And
you.
then Princess and the Frog was after that. That was
Yeah.
also hand drawn animation. But then that was it. They just stopped and they moved through into CG animation after that with Tangled and Frozen and that kind of stuff in the 2010s. So yeah, it's a really interesting one. But that was part of the. I think Lilo and Stitch was the only other 2000s. Emperor's New Groove, Lilo and Stitch, and then Treasure Planet Atlantis. Were the hand drawn animation ones that and Lilo and Stitch and Lilo and Stitch performed very well. Emperor's New Groove was kind of so, and then Treasure Planet didn't
Quite a lot of
perform
people
very well at all.
don't even know Emperor's New Groove exists.
Yeah,
It was
it's
so
so
baffles me.
surprising.
Not talked about. I mean, I didn't see it when it first came out. It was literally, I came across it on, I think it was like, I had the Disney Channel on for Yoshi, and it just came on. I'm like, what is this fantastical thing?
Tom
Oh my God,
Jones is
Tom
there.
Jones
starts
is singing.
playing,
Why is he
you're like,
singing?
oh my
This is
God.
amazing.
Not on you.
Yeah, the rock. So, yeah, that's the only reason I know about it. It was never mentioned when it first was released. It's weird.
What about Pixar stuff? We said it's not just Disney's 100th anniversary, but as part of our
Well, that's
month,
what I was
it's been
going
30
into.
seconds.
The downfall of hand-drawn animation opened the door for Pixar to then come in and go, boom, here's all our stuff.
Boom.
Pixar have been going since the 80s, don't get me wrong, in like the 90s with Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 2 and Bugs Life and stuff like that was sort of them just getting into it, and then 2000s hit and they just exploded with everything. Favorite Pixar for me would hands down is always The Incredibles. Everything about that movie is fantastic. The soundtrack's amazing. The look and the writing is incredible. Brad Bird, who wrote, directed, and produced the movie, is an absolute genius. He also voiced Edna Mode in that movie, and yeah, I just love everything about The Incredibles, and it still stands up to this day, I think.
You like the second one?
Yeah.
No, the second one's good. Second one's really, really good. It actually rates higher than the first one, I think.
Yeah.
But the original one did something that hadn't been done yet.
Yeah.
I like Ratatouille. It make me want to be a chef.
Just for the record, his name is not Ratatouille, it's Remy.
Yes.
I like the movie.
The movie
Don't
is
like the
called
rat.
The
Ratatouille
amount
because
of
he
people
makes
that like,
Ratatouille.
oh, I love that wee mouse called
It's
Ratatouille.
like when they were
First one's a
making
rat.
when TikTok was making the musical, the
I still haven't
Ratatouille
seen
musical,
that.
and they talk about, they were like, Remy the Ratatouille, and I'm like, what? No, he makes Ratatouille.
Well, you never know. He might be Ratatouille now.
Oh my god.
It's made of vegetables.
Oh no.
There's no rat in Ratatouille.
No rat and Ratatouille.
No, his
Have you
name,
seen
his
the
name
film?
is Remy. He's in Ratatouille.
Did you go Italian?
I started it. Michelle, do you have a favourite Pixar?
Maybe Wall-E.
Maybe Wall-E. Why maybe?
I don't know, because I don't have a favourite Pixar. I think they're all lovely.
Oh,
They all,
okay.
I have like just the really fond memories
Okay,
of all of
that's
them as I'm
interesting.
growing up. Especially with my first one being the first time I ever had a copy of Toy Story. The first one, it was my uncle who bought a really bad copy VHS tape from the Barras.
Piracy doesn't pay, guys.
Oh yeah, piracy is a crime, get it.
You would steal-
You wouldn't steal a
but
car.
he gave me an obvious VHS tape from the Barras, and it was my first ever VHS tape that was mine, my own, and it was Toy Story, and the sticker on it kept falling off and chewing up the VHS player.
My
And it was so crackly and horrible, but I was like, I love this movie so much.
my memory of Toy Story is actually going to the cinema to see it
Nah.
in the mid-90s, and my mum falling asleep and me missing most of the film because she was snoring so loud next to me that I couldn't hear it. Yeah. But
If you're
that's
having cinema memories, mine is going to see The Lion King. I think it was 1993 that came out.
94.
94. My dad taking me, and my dad bawling his eyes out at the death scene.
Yeah.
But my dad being the kind of manly man who doesn't like to show that, so he was very much hiding.
Yeah.
And me, I shouldn't have done this as a daughter. I feel really bad about it. But me almost basically shouting at the top of my lungs, "Are you crying?" Like, as poor Simba is in the death of his dad. Spoilers. But me just turning around, I was upset as well, but then I turned around and saw my dad, who was kind of teary. First time I ever saw my dad cry, which is completely understandable because it is such a horrible part of the movie.
It really
But
is.
my instant reaction is shouting at my dad at the top of my lungs, "Are you crying?" in the middle of a cinema, to which he was mortified. So yeah, sorry, Dad.
You agree with Incredibles, Sophie? Because you said like yes.
I love The Incredibles. I would say that's my less embarrassing favourite Pixar film.
Ooh.
My actual favourite would probably be Cars.
It's not
Fair.
embarrassing. Life is
No,
a highway.
but here's the thing.
It's a
Right?
terrible movie.
Cars is horrendously bad.
It's
The
a bad
whole
movie.
idea of it, the concept of it, stresses
Yes.
me out. The fact that why do the cars have eyelids?
Yeah.
Why is there a Pope car?
Yes.
Is that Pope car the Pope mobile or is he the Pope? Stresses me out.
Which one is
Why?
he?
How did they build stairs? Some of the buildings have stairs. How did they build them? Why
How
are they
did
going
they go
up them? Why is
upstairs?
there stairs? But I love the film. But the Cars universe stresses me out. But I love the movie and the soundtrack is so good.
When
I feel
these-
like your
when-
head will explode when you go to see planes.
Oh, I've seen planes.
It
Trust and
bothers-
believe.
No, but the stairs thing, it bothers me when they start using their wheels as feet.
Why would, if
Yeah.
you're in a car
I'm like-
world, why would anybody create stairs?
Why?
Why do stairs
Why?
exist in the Cars world?
It's the scene at the end of the end of Cars where they have a Bug's Life but they're all cars.
Yeah. Oh my god,
Love
it's so
it.
cute.
I love
Adorable.
it. It is a
Adorable.
really good film and I really enjoy it and it makes me happy when I'm watching it. But if I think too much about it, it makes me angry.
As we found out from the quiz, the Disney quiz, the Pixar quiz, Cars is actually one of the lowest rated Pixar movies
That makes
of all time.
sense.
It's memeable, is why people like it.
It's
Yeah.
very
But
memeable.
it is also
And-
like it's
and-
not bad.
And Owen Wilson is hilarious. Like,
Exactly.
he's-
That's
in
another reason why I
Terminator.
love it because I love Owen Wilson. Another is Big Hero 6 Pixar? It is.
It's
isn't it?
Disney,
it's
not
not.
Pixar.
It's Disney. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that one. That would be on my Disney list. It's such a good
Top
film. Fall Out Boy does a song for that. So.
Harry baby.
Still not seen it. On the Pope, I found out that all of his clothing and garments are made by a very flamboyant gay man from Italy, who you can see on his
The
Instagram.
irony
Just
is
being like,
Mhm.
here are all of my
phenomenal.
things.
Yeah.
I found that
There's a joke about it in The Simpsons at one point, I think. Something about Liberace and Pope clothes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Anything overrated about Disney, the company, the movies?
Disney themselves.
series.
I need Disney to stop making live action versions of their animated films.
Stop it.
That's not a hot take. That's freezing cold because you're damn right.
I didn't say it was a hot take. I just said I need them to stop doing
Honestly,
it.
it's no stop rehashing stuff that was already classic.
Yeah, exactly.
Things like Beauty and the Beast
Lion
and all that
King.
kind of stuff. The Lion King. It was perfect the way it was. I know you're just trying to make money out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're like this is my argument about Hollywood in general. Is there are so many amazing independent writers and storytellers and animators and creators out there with amazing original stories.
Yeah.
And yet, massive companies like Disney are like, nah, it's too much of a risk. Let's just rehash what we've already got.
Yeah, exactly.
Just for the money. Like, stop it!
Pixar's good at not doing that.
I would like Disney to stop buying everything.
Yes.
That's
There's talk of them buying a part of Warner Brothers. Is the latest one that's in the news.
But no user rivals. Stop doing that. You can't do
Yeah.
that.
So they're going to be buying some properties off of.
This is
Warner
like
Brothers,
extreme
apparently.
monopoly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Harry Potter. They're buying Harry Potter.
They're
God,
they're also
no.
buying Doctor Who, like the new season of Doctor Who, which is very scary because
Yeah.
I don't want them to make it good. It's meant to be bad.
Competition makes things better, and if everything's just owned by Disney, it's not going to be good fun.
I found out anti-monopoly laws in the US. No one's allowed to buy Dr. Pepper, like the brand, because it's the third highest selling soda in the US. So the government's had to say, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, you stay away.
Yeah,
you leave
yeah.
him alone. And Dr. Pepper gets to live his life how he wants.
I love Dr. Pepper.
Shout out Dr. Pepper.
But apart from that, yeah, I think Disney are doing okay, but they just stop trying to own everything.
Yeah.
Is my big issue. So
It's more, I was looking for like if there's anything overrated, like the people are like, this is amazing, this is
Frozen.
so cool.
Frozen's really overrated.
I think Frozen's a solid
Frozen's
movie.
good. I did enjoy it. I just thought it was there was so much overexposure with when
Yeah.
it came out that it was like I am.
That's what happened with the Cars universe as well, though.
Yeah.
They just kept making Cars
3 movies plus planes, 1 and 2
I'm
plus series.
exclusively talking about the first Cars though.
Cars 1 and 2 are Pixar. The other ones, none of the other ones are Pixar. Planes is
just
not
Disney?
Planes is not
I
Pixar.
Was it not?
forgot
Nope.
I had no idea.
about the new Cars show coming to Disney Plus. I take back everything I've said. Do you know about this show? You seen this show? You heard about this? You seen this?
No.
About Mater has to go to his sister's wedding on the other side of the country, so it's just him and
like a road trip?
Lightning road tripping to his sister's wedding.
I love that. Wait.
New
Just
Mater show
constantly
on Disney
breaks
Plus.
down
That
every
sounds
20
so
miles or
normal.
something. Yeah.
It sounds like Due Date, the film with
Oh, I love that movie so much.
film with Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis. This sounds like they've just done that,
Please
but
tell me
with
you've seen that
Mater
movie.
and Lightning
I've seen
McQueen.
Frenemy.
No,
Judy
no.
is
Due Date's
amazing.
Due Date is Robert Downey Jr. is trying to get back to his wife who's pregnant, I believe.
She's about to give
She's
birth.
about to have a baby, yeah. And then he
Oh,
has a-
Judy. I thought you were saying Judy. I was like, who's Judy? I was so confused.
It's a
Ju-
movie where
Judy.
Zach Galifianakis
Yes.
plays Judi Dench.
yeah.
Obviously.
But then he meets Zach Galifianakis, and he's irritated by him so much that he ends up getting kicked off the plane. Then Zach also gets kicked off the plane, and they have to road trip from one end of the country to the other to be able to make it back to his pregnant wife.
It does
Funny.
sound like that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
great.
it's
awesome.
a great film from mid 2000s.
It's a great
I think.
Pixar movie.
Yeah,
Thoughts on Disney parks and lands?
never been.
I would like to go.
Yeah,
one of
never
I would
Paris
been.
really
is
like
good.
to go. It's
I
been
drove
like
past
me and my
Paris.
sisters. Me and my sisters. It's been like our goal as sisters to go to Disneyland. Like,
Sisterhood of the Travelling Disney.
yes, because we want to go. It's cool because Scrooge McDuck has became like a permanent. He's not just a Christmas character anymore.
Just because of David Tennant.
Well, no, because of DuckTales. But like before that, he was just in like Christmas stuff.
Fair.
So now we can go and see Scrooge any time of the year. We don't have to go at Christmas. But I do want to go at Halloween because that would be really fun. And you get to like you can do Disney bounding when you're there normally, but you can't dress up. But if you go to Disneyland Florida or Disney World Florida, when you go to like Mickey's Halloween party, you can actually dress up. So I think that would be really cool. And yeah.
Park Asterix better. It's my hot take.
No, Legoland's better.
I haven't been to any
I don't
of
know
them. so.
the Disney one, the one in Paris.
The Euro Disney.
Yeah, so I
I
remember
don't think it's
going.
called that anymore, is it?
I don't know. The one in Paris. There you go.
It's Disneyland
Uh,
Paris.
I always just remember thinking it took. We were there for one day, and because there's two parks. It's Disney Studios and then Disneyland, and the two entrances are right next to each other. So you go into one for a wee while and then you go to the other. We didn't get around anywhere near as much as we wanted on both. So I think it's like definitely a 2-day trip thing
Yeah.
because we only had one day. I absolutely loved the Monsters Inc. Ride. And the thing where you get to scream into the tank and fill it up. That was
That
amazing.
sounds fun.
We've my TikTok has been invaded by, because I'm a big fan. Oh, actually, going back to Disney movies, what's your favorite Disney movie? The original Tron movie from the 1980s is one of my favorites of all time. And so my TikTok's been invaded with the new ride at Disney
Florida?
World. What?
Is it Florida?
It's Florida, yeah. Disneyland, Disney World, Florida, and it's a Tron ride. So it's a roller coaster, but like you're on the Tron bikes.
On the bike.
Oh, wait.
And you get to go
That's so
through
cool.
and then round and down. And it's
The
incredible.
lights and
The
everything.
neon
And,
is
oh,
insane.
it looks
Um,
amazing.
So yeah, I would love to go to Disney World, Florida.
Yeah.
at some
Staff trip.
point. Yeah, screw France.
That's a business expense, right? That's absolutely. We should have done it this month because we could have done it for research.
It was for research.
Oh, yeah.
Research
We
purposes.
said this
Yeah.
years ago about going to Japan. We all said that we should all use business money and go to Japan because we had the whole Japanese ramen bar and we did the whole theme. We're like, well, absolutely, that is research. We need to go there and make sure we're doing it right.
We'll be nearby, maybe. We'll see. And lastly, because of our Sing Star night this Saturday, as you're listening to it live, if it, sad,
The time works.
on the 18th, favourite Disney song?
We discussed this last night in our
Yeah,
Discord
in
server, which you
Discord.
should
I was
join.
really
by the way.
disappointed about the lack of votes for "I'll Make a Man Out of You" because it is like,
From
There was
Mulan.
actually a
So-
couple.
yeah, not as many as I thought there would be.
No.
I was like, this
I
is
don't
one
rate
of
Mulan
the.
that highly, I'm
what?
sorry.
See, the film's okay, but that song,
That song is
that
amazing.
song
Oh, yeah.
is the greatest thing to ever exist. If we're talking about
I'm
like,
sitting right here.
because like I have a lot of like Disney Channel movie songs that I really love. Like the entire High School Musical 2 soundtrack was like the soundtrack to my life.
Swing, bada, bada, swing, bada, bada, swing.
Yeah, so like stuff like that I love.
There's
But if
definitely
we're talking
divide in
like
this room.
proper Disney, it is I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan. It
Fair,
is like
fair.
it's got to be. Also love, like I was saying, Princess and the Frog soundtrack is also amazing. The music is so
It is
good in that.
It is good.
Also the Hercules soundtrack is good too.
Hercules soundtrack, there's not a bad song.
There is
on it.
not a bad
There's
song
not
on the
a single
Hercules
bad
soundtrack. And I love that. So yeah, but specific song, I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan.
I had said I'm Still Here, Jim's theme from Treasure Planet, which is like the song they play at the end of the movie, which is now one of my favourite songs that I listen to all the time.
Nice.
Because it's the lead singer of the Goo-Goo Dolls just doing his thing on a Disney movie. And then the two things that came to mind yesterday when you were asking, for some reason, I Want to Be Like You from The Jungle Book, because whenever that movie's on the shop, I wait for that scene so I can sing along.
Yep.
And same for Robin Hood and Little John Run Through the Forest.
I was going to say,
Laddie,
was Robin
laddie,
Hood
galley,
mentioned?
waddie, I mentioned that.
Did you mention it?
As an
Yes.
honourable mention,
Yep.
because I love that as well. It's just like so relaxing to hear that.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
those were my picks. What about the adults in the room?
The Daft Punk soundtrack to Tron Legacy now jumps into my head. I'm like, wait a
Not
minute.
a song in the
Wait a
movie.
minute. No,
See,
no,
I know
no.
people were asking really silly questions like, can it be adjacent? Can it be songs released? And I'm like, no. It has to be a song in the movie
Featured
that was
in a movie.
sung
Yeah.
as part of the movie. It can't be the song that was released as a single for the movie. It has to be in the movie.
Okay.
Looking at you,
Because
Phil
my answer
Collins.
was technically going to be Fantasia again, but like that's really because that's like that. I was thinking more sing along stuff,
Yeah.
like the stuff that you. This is for old people. At the end of the VHS tape, you used to. They always picked a random movie song, and you'd have the bouncing Mickey Mouse
They have
thing
that on YouTube.
with the with the wee karaoke words, and you would learn them all.
How things have changed.
So stuff that kind of
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, mine's that's why you brought up Mary Poppins
Yeah.
in the chat, because just supercalifragilistic.
Yeah.
Oh,
expialidocious.
that's not where my brain went.
What?
Mary
Chim
Poppins?
Jiminy,
Chim
No,
Jiminy.
yeah,
that's
Spoonful of sugar, son.
My
No.
favourite Mary Poppins song is Feed the Birds, because it used to make me cry so much, but
yeah.
it's such a good song.
That's
and I was
what
in
You
a
got to feed
I was
the
in like
birds.
a
Is it that one?
Disney.
That's the girl from
I was
Little
I was in like a
Girl.
Disney cabaret show where one of the drag queens sung that and was walking up and down the aisles being like, and it was spectacular. And
Sorry, I
yeah,
ruined it.
another one that I'm thinking of because I was talking about Big Hero 6 is Immortals by Fall Out Boy, because that's in the film. It's in the
But
film,
it's not part of the movie.
but it is. It is part of
But
the
it's
movie because it's in
not.
it, and they
It's a grey area, like that said like songs that are sung in the movie. The storyline. Kind of.
Also, the Moana soundtrack is also really good because Shiny
Yes.
from Moana is,
I mean,
a
the thank you
banger.
song. Go on.
and it's Jermaine Clement who's in What We Do in the
Jermaine.
Shadows. It's him that
Love
plays
Jermaine.
Jermaine.
My name's Jermaine.
the big crab from.
crab guy.
But this was like I went to see that film at like the peak
Look
of
at one
my
eye, one
fear
eye,
of
one
crustaceans
eye.
because I used to be really scared of crustaceans. That was like the peak of that, and I was like, I can't look at this big crab. But it was fine.
My name's Jermaine. This is
Yeah.
Brett.
I would love to keep this going, but my phone's about to run out of battery, so I need to move on to our
no.
next segment.
I didn't
Which-
say my favourite song.
What? Tell it real fast.
Well, the one I put in Discord last night was That's What Makes the World Go Round from Sword and Stone.
Okay, we're moving on to True Lies, which is our game where I'm going to give you 3 facts about the world of Disney.
Oh,
2 of them are true. 1 of them is a lie.
that's how it works.
I get scared every time.
Two lies. True lies. Two lies.
No, so
You have to figure out what the lie
Two
is.
lies. True
No,
lies.
no, he just said the opposite
no,
of you.
no. You've said wait.
What am I supposed to do?
It's 2 lies, 1 truth.
Right, give me a second.
Have you done 2 truths, 1 lie?
I
Leave
thought
me
I've
alone.
always thought it
Michelle-
was two
Literally
truths,
put it in
one lie.
Discord.
I know,
Two lies.
I
True
know.
lies.
It's called
I
True
know.
Lies because 2
Right.
lies. It's
I
2
didn't-
lies.
I've,
1.
I've never called it that.
Because
So when
every
we-
other thing is 2 truths and a lie. We do
Yeah.
it weird. which
We
is
do it
what-
weird
right,
on
okay. That
purpose
makes sense.
because
I
it's easier for us to make up lies about ourselves than have 2 true things.
Give me a second.
When we used to
Okay.
play this on Twitch,
I thought I clarified this.
I
last
made
night.
this
You
game
did,
up.
and I forgot because I forgot to do it last night.
I made this game up because I thought it would be funny, because it was a twist on the games that other people have
And
played.
the movie's good.
And it was, and the movie's amazing. So it was True Lies, but it was 2 lies, 1 truth.
Okay.
And you had to figure out which one was the truth about the person
Okay.
that was saying it.
Okay,
That makes
I've
sense.
sorted myself out.
And the way you remember is True Lies, 2 lies.
Okay, we're good. We're all happy, smiling friends. As long as my phone doesn't die. Okay. So here are your 3 facts about the world of Disney.
Didn't he?
Boo,
Disney.
Boo from Monsters Inc.
Mhm.
Yes.
Her real name is Gwen. as seen on a picture in her room. It's written. She signed it.
Okay.
Oh, so
Snow-
the character's name's Gwen, not
Yes,
the girl
not-
that voiced it.
No.
Okay.
No. Stop
I'm just
wasting
checking.
time. My phone's going to
Just
die.
checking.
Snow White only has 18 words of dialogue in her own movie.
I believe that.
Doesn't say much. She is 15. Not got much to say. And Walt Disney's last written word, basically his last thing he ever said, but he did write it down and say it, was Kurt Russell. Those are my 3 facts for you.
I sense,
Two of
I
them are
sense
lies, and one
Sam
of them is true.
rushed one of these.
2 of these are lies, one of them is true. You tell
Sorry,
me.
so the second one was it Snow White?
Snow White only has
Okay.
18 words of
Just,
dialogue in
I
her
was
own
making
movie.
sure it was the right
I
one.
think.
I believe that does not count singing. though.
Singing, okay,
so
because
this is just talking words.
I was
Then.
going to
These
say
are just talking words.
I know
Okay.
those dwarves are there, but yeah, she does talk to those dwarves quite a bit.
Talk to the birds a little bit as well.
She does, yeah. She's
Yeah.
a bit,
Is it
she's
enough?
a bit,
Is
bit
it
of a weird one, that
18?
Snow White.
18
She does
words?
sleep towards
I
the
don't
end
know,
of the
but
movie
Boo
as well.
doesn't
and stuff.
strike me as a Gwen.
So I know you know this as well, that the voice acting for Boo was actually
Thingy's daughter.
John Lasseter's daughter,
Yeah, thanks.
or one of the producers'
One of the
daughters.
guys.
Anyway,
He just threw in our room with a microphone and a bunch of toys and said, "Here, make noise."
here, make noises, and they recorded her. And
recorded her.
she,
Which is awesome. That's how you
I
should
love
make
that.
movies.
It's not.
Um,
she did like child
Did
labor.
she get paid?
Child labor laws.
Did she
bro.
get paid?
With sweetie.
So, but I don't think the Gwen thing is correct.
She doesn't strike me as a Gwen. I don't know if that's because my big sister's childhood nickname is Boo and her name is Beth, so my brain always just goes, "Oh, Boo is Beth."
Boo Beth.
So, like, I don't know if it's that, but Gwen doesn't suit her.
Okay.
So I'm thinking
That's
Snow
a
White
lie.
thing's true.
You're trying to find what's
Walt
true.
Disney was cryogenically frozen when?
His
I
daughter,
know.
his
Before
daughter
Kurt
has
Russell.
factually said he was not cryogenically frozen.
No.
No, lies.
But when did he no longer exist?
I believe I read earlier, 1966.
66. Okay.
But I don't. That was on, Well,
That's
that
fair.
was on the same place. I got
I'm just
these
trying to make
facts.
sure Kurt Russell was alive and famous at that point.
Was
That
he just
all.
like falling over down? He's got, oh, that's Kurt Russell.
Unless it's some other random person that worked for Disney called Kurt Russell,
Yeah.
and it's nothing to do with the actor.
I just think the Snow White one's true.
I think Snow White.
Because most of those films from that time, the princesses did not say things.
So,
Okay.
are you going? You're going with Snow
I'm
White,
going with Snow White.
Andrew?
Snow White,
Gwen.
I think. Gwen,
Snow
you're
White.
with.
So these are all the true things. Okay.
Yes.
I think Gwen is true.
Boo's real name is Mary,
Ah,
as seen written on one of her pictures in her room. So
Sweet.
that part's true, but
No,
it's
I
Mary.
remember
not
that.
Gwen.
fair play.
She doesn't strike me as a maid either, but this is probably just
Mary
the Beth
doll.
thing.
Mary
You're going
Boo.
to kick yourself. Aurora, aka Sleeping Beauty,
Yeah.
only has 18 words
That
of
also
dialogue.
makes sense. I
She
think I
also
just was
only
like-
has 18 minutes of screen time.
Because she's
in her
sleeping the
Yeah.
whole time.
Walt Disney's last written words were Kurt Russell.
Were they?
No one knows why, including the actor, who's like, I don't understand why I'm somehow tied to this.
It'll be some random guy that works
Oh,
for
so,
Disney.
wait, was it said words or written
That's what,
words?
so that's what I had to say. His last written thing,
Written.
but that's also the last thing he said or did, or he wrote Kurt Russell and then died.
I need to look this up. I am freaking out.
And those are true lies, two lies, and true.
It's probably just someone that you worked with that also had
Yeah,
the name Kurt
that's what I'm saying.
Russell. It's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
that.
Some bonus things that I was thinking about using facts wise that could turn into this. The voice of Lilo and Lilo and Stitch also plays the girl in the ring.
Yes,
Yes.
Thing.
I knew that.
Prince Charming is never named during Cinderella. He's always
Nope.
just Prince Charming.
Prince Charming, yep.
And to get an appropriate skin tone for Snow White, real rouge was applied to the animation cells so that she would look appropriate.
Nice.
Which I was thinking of changing into real mascara, but I felt like that would be a giveaway. Oh, and what word are Disney park characters not allowed to say? These are the people
Can we beep it out?
performing. Huh? Yes, we can beep it out, but I suppose that's implied that they can't do that. But this is like a word that's like a commonly used word that they
I
were
know
told
this
don't use
because
this.
I've heard about this because it's things like that. You can't have more than one character in the park at one time. And
They
stuff
can't
like
be
that.
in the wrong area, so Disney built tunnels.
Yeah, they're
Walt
very
Disney, as much as he was a xenophobe and like an insane man, had a lot of interesting thoughts about presentation. Like we were talking about earlier for different company things. Like, I'm gonna build tunnels so that Sleeping Beauty's never in Bambi Land. He's just everything needs to be precise. And if a really interesting thing about Disney's architecture is that if people started to ignore the path and walk over the grass, they would change the path the next year to reflect that people were making this change. So they were perceiving how the audience was making use of the land.
They're continuously adapting it.
That's actually just a general thing within landscaping and city building.
but
They're
Desire
called
path or
desire lines. So when people walk a certain way, the council or the local management company will usually change the path.
But they don't always do it. Whether it's Disney, it's like a next year we're changing it.
I think the word that they're not allowed to use is jobbies.
That's probably implied as well, but I don't know. This is
the C word. It's clearly the C word. I don't want to say it on the podcast.
They've been told not to say no. So like any Disney character can't say no.
Yeah. Is it not that thing
which the website got this from then put in brackets where it both said, I don't think that'll hold up in court.
There's not that controversial thing about, I don't know if you've seen the video of Gaston and he shouts no at a woman because she gropes him, right? And it's that whole thing about like you're allowed to meet characters and you're allowed to stand with them, take a photograph and stuff like that. And obviously little kids that want to see like Snow White and stuff, they want to hug them, which is fine because you're little kids. This grown woman sees Gaston, who's all obviously big and like kind of grand and all that kind of stuff, and she goes up, she goes, "Can I get a photo?" And he says yes, and she stands next to him as normal, but then she like turns around and grabs him by the chest and then grabs him by the ass because she thinks it's funny and cute, and he actually not physically like hurts her or pushes her, but he pushes her away and says, "No, you're not." Like, he actually goes out of character, which means he got into trouble for leaving character. And he's like, you cannot touch people like that.
Yeah.
And she got told off, but he also got told off. But then because everybody had it on video, they went, absolutely, she shouldn't have done that. He was in the right. And that's when they started promoting the whole thing about don't touch our characters. They're people and stuff like that. So I remember that. So when you said the no thing, that kind of rang a bell.
Yeah.
Because he got into trouble for that.
They're not supposed to say no. Yeah. And you're not supposed to turn off this podcast. Just let it loop. Get us more listens.
Contractual. That's contractual now.
Yeah.
It's a verbal contract.
You've entered into this with us.
You have to listen to me forever.
You need to listen to this and you need to watch the bread sword video because I want him to be my friend.
And then you need to send us all the lists of your favourite Disney songs and movies and stuff.
And some cake.
And if you want to advertise on the R-CADE podcast, screw it, in the vlog as well. I'll do advertisement breaks. Just email us.
Oh my god, that would be so funny if you just print out like posters or something or do an ad break thing. Yes, absolutely.
It's more just like it cuts to, hi, I bet you're wondering how you can get your skin nice and shiny. Get this new moisturiser from Olay.
Get some help.
That could be it. Yes, so if you want to advertise with us,
can I just say we're not affiliated with Olay? We haven't actually been paid for that.
Olay! You're not affiliated with me. That's the end of our podcast. Andrew, your phone might have charge. Can you run through all the things that are coming up this month? Because you also have the notes.
And you were looking at them
earlier.
It should be Michelle.
Why?
Because she made up all the things and it's on her phone.
No, it's on.
So still to come this month, Disney SingStar Night on the 18th of February, 7
this
p.m. to
Saturday.
10 p.m. This Saturday, indeed. I believe it is almost half sold out. So get in there right now. On the 25th of February, the week following, Saturday the 25th at 7 p.m. is the Pijimi Petit.
So excited.
What? Sorry?
Pijimi Petit.
Is it Pijimi Petit?
Pijimi Kideo.
There's pigeons coming?
No, that's Hideo. Anyway,
You got
pajama
to
party.
feed the pigeons.
The following day, on the 26th, the Sunday at 4:40 is the Family Fun Disney Party.
Yes, where we will all be in character and singing, apparently.
I will be Gaston.
Oh, heck yeah.
Do not touch my butt. Please.
Do
Do not touch my butt.
Don't touch me. I will be Cusco then, so don't touch me.
Cusco as lava?
Can I just say that for the pajama party, bonus points if anyone shows up as the time that Ashley Tisdale went on the red carpet in the pajama outfit and she had the feather boa and the tiara and like the sleep mask and the
So
slippers.
specific. I love
It was iconic. It was like, I think the theme for the red carpet that they went on was like a pajama party. So she was like,
Imagine if
she
it
took that
wasn't.
Is
literally.
this the Met Gala or is this just?
I think it was
This was
some
Disney
sort
Channel.
of, yeah, it was like a Disney Channel thingy, but do you know what I'm talking about?
Kinda, but more importantly, I've just realised that we need to do a YouTube video where we just have Andrew and Michelle react to the Disney Channel games.
Yeah,
Yes.
do that.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll do that.
March 4th.
Quiz.
March 4th. It's in
March
question marks.
before
There's
that.
too many question marks.
Before
It's
that is
confusing me
March 3rd, which is Friendship Club makes its triumphant return on March
Squiggly
3rd,
D, that's
which
the
will
one.
be 4:40 on the Friday.
4:40 until 6:40.
Yeah, and then on the Saturday, as Andrew's about to mention, it's our Nintendo quiz as part of Mario Month on March the
4th.
Fourth.
As always, there's a new vlog at the start of the month, so make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you can. Please.
Go to our Patreon if you want early access to some of these things.
Don't do that just now because I'm changing it.
Do that next month.
Do it. Wait. Just wait. Stop. Don't click on that. Our Our arcade sessions, as usual, every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at
Get
121
passes
Saltmarket. I will be rejigging the tickets page, so keep an eye on the website arcadeglasgow.com for that coming very soon.
Just FYI as well, we are a cafe as well, so please come in and drink our coffee and play our board games.
Nah,
Talk to us about Disney. Watch VHS tapes or don't. Those
No,
that don't exist.
we don't
we don't do
movies
that.
in
We don't.
shop.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I said watch the tapes. I didn't say watch the movies on the tapes.
Just
Just
look
stare
at
at the
look at the
tapes.
tapes. Make sure nobody takes them from us. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're precious, precious.
I know. I would like to say again for the record, no, we do not sell our VHS tapes. No matter how many people ask us, can we please buy that VHS?
If you see a
tape off?
price on one, tell us so we can take the price off it.
Yeah.
please.
I
Thank
did
you
do
very
this a
much.
while ago, but I've
There's a
failed.
couple. Yeah,
There was some new
it's
ones
fine.
added that had prices. So it's not your
not my
fault.
fault.
Not your fault.
We are not selling them.
And that has been the R-CADE Podcast.
I've been Sam.
I've been Sam too.
We are
I'm
all
Sam.
Sam.
Not this
And,
again.
as-
This happened
as-
in the Discord. Not
As
this
we
again.
are slowly fading out, as we are wont to do with the cold open and cold close, I just want to say Bolt should have had more representation in the
That is
movie.
so
Oh my
true.
God,
I love Miley Cyrus. We watched
That's the end.
recently.
Fade out.
Yeah.
As Sophie says, I love Miley Cyrus.
Life is a
styrofoam.
highway.
I'm gonna lie. Bolt is not a
Life
Pixar
is
movie.
a highway.
It's a Disney movie. It's a Disney month. It's not Pixar month.
I don't care. It's not good
Stop
enough.
arguing with Disney and
Not
Pixar.
good
No,
enough.
it's fine.
Is there a Bolt 2?
Bolt
No, there's not.
sucks.
There's
No.
the
Bolt
spin-off
to Electric
series
Boogaloo.
about
The
the
dog
hamster.
dies in the end, by the way.
It would be Bolt 2 Electric Woofaloo if
Michelle,
anything,
keep
for
getting
goodness
confused
sake.
between Bolt and I Am Legend. We've told you this.
Oh, yeah, oh, you totally, you know.
Spoiler for Lion King.
The dog dies.